Hi guys, Lab 6, DHCP. We're going to go through it real quickly and just kind of give you an idea of how you can complete it, and then we will maybe look at some other things, maybe do a little bit of explanation about the lab. So let's go ahead and go to the desktop. Okay, so here we are. This is Lab 6. Basically, you'll be given a lab sheet in class. Follow the instructions carefully, fill out the required information, and turn it in when done. You'll just put it on my desk at the end of the lab period. This is the sheet that you'll be given. Must be done using the gray cables. So the numbers that you'll get when you do the lab in class will be different than what we're going to get. I will have the router already configured. The IP address will be 192.168.100 through something. I'll probably at least give 25 DHCP addresses. So we'll go from there. What you need to do is configure your lab PC to use DHCP. And I'm going to show you how to do that. That's where we're going to go ahead and start here. And then we'll go through and answer the questions and basically just go through the information that you'll be given. First of all, the easy way to configure your PC, anything having to do with the network, is down here in the corner where it says Internet Access 80.grayson.edu. That is the network icon. If you right click on that, you can open Network and Internet Settings. And at that point, this gives you a sort of a splash page of all the different internet information. For example, mine's been, from the last 30 days, of about 200 gigabytes of information. And the thing to do next is look for where it says change adapter options. That's what we're going to do, is we're going to change our adapter settings. So click on that, and it should open up the different adapters. I have a Bluetooth adapter. I have Ethernet adapter that's in my laptop. I have an Ethernet adapter that is in my, that's in my docking station. And then I have some virtual adapters and a Wi-Fi adapter. So I have several different network connections. The one that's actually being used is this one, this USB to Ethernet connection. This is the Ethernet port in my docking station for my laptop. So that's what we're going to configure right now. We're going to right click on it and select properties. Notice the little blue and yellow shields. That means that all the things that have that next to it require administrative permission. So if you don't have administrative permission to do this on your computer, it's going to ask you to log in as an administrator. But for this case, all of the PCs in the lab, we have local administrator permissions on that. So we're going to select properties. We're going to use the IPv4, and we're going to select properties for that as well. Okay, now here's where we come down to it. If we're setting a static IP, we'll click use the following IP address. And at that point, you'll fill out the information, whatever information that you have available, the IP address, subnet mask, and then the default gateway. That's the router address. If we were doing that, that's where you'd put that. This is how you add a static, but we're not. We're going to use a DHCP server, so that means we obtain the IP address automatically. So you'll make sure that that's clicked. Likewise for DNS, we're going to obtain that automatically as well. If you have a DNS server, you would say use the following, and then you'd put the DNS server addresses in there, but we're going to obtain this information automatically. That's what it means when we use a DHCP server, is we get the information automatically. Once you have that done, you're going to hit OK. And your computer may take a moment. You may see something down here saying identifying. That means what it's doing is it's going to the router and it's acquiring a new DHCP address. And once it happens, it'll say probably internet not available, because there's no internet connection on the lab router. It's not connected to the internet, but it should say connected. At that point, then we are in fact connected. The way that we tell that, we need to open up a command prompt. So you're going to click on Start, type COM, run as administrator. And here's our command prompt. Now what we need to do is we need to determine that we have an IP address, and the best way to do that is to use the ipconfig command /all. All right, and what we're going to find in the adapter that's connected, which in my case is this USB to Ethernet adapter, we'll get the host that we're connected to, which is grayson.edu. The type of adapter, it might just say Ethernet, but in this case it says USB Ethernet because it's connecting via a USB connection to the Ethernet port on my router, or not router, on my docking station. The physical or MAC address is a hard-coded address that's built into the adapter. Every adapter has one. It's a layer 2 connection. DHCP enabled. This is the first thing we need to know. Is DHCP enabled? So if we go back and we look at our answer sheet, is it running DHCP? Well, the answer to that would be yes, because it says here DHCP enabled. Auto configuration enabled? Yes, it has to be. This is an IPv6 link local address. Yes, that's connected. IPv4, this is what we care about here. What is your IP address? Well, it's 10.5.1.169. Yours will be 192.168.1. something, because that's a different address scheme than what I'm on right now. But you put down what is your address, that's what it is. What's the address of your DHCP server? Mine will be 10.0.0.125. That's the DHCP server. Yours will be something different. When will you be forced to lease a new IP address? And then the lease expires Friday, September 8th, 10:35. So we'll have to get another lease in just a few minutes. And so that's the first part. That's the information that you would get from the IP command. So you can go ahead and close the command prompt down. These next questions, I will let you speculate, test, research, and describe the following. At this point, what will happen when more PCs running DHCP try to get on the network? Well, they'll each get an address until the server runs out of addresses. Will a PC with a static IP of 10.10.1.80 not on your network, because yours is 192.168.1. whatever. So that would not be able to connect or ping. Will the PCs that did not get a router assigned address, the only way they could do that is if they were given static IP addresses that fit into the address scheme. And how can you join more? Without configuring the router to assign more, you'd have to give them static IP addresses, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to connect. And that should answer all the questions that are on this lab. So basically that is the completion of the lab. Once you're done with that, you can have the lab sheet, fill out the information, write down the paragraphs that you need to answer the questions, and then call me over. I'll check, I'll initial off on your lab sheet, and then you can turn it in to me, and at that point, then you'll be done with that lab. So hope to see you guys Thursday night in class, and until then, have a good day.